Hi, this is the North Node. This is the glossary. I did the glossary for the North Node 1 through 7 in the houses, and then this is part 2 of that. So this is 8 through 12. So I only got 4 more houses to go through. Show your love and support to your girl Marie, and make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I realized that this could be like a big, giant thing. It's so much information and content because it's not just based on the house, but then the sign that the house is in changes the subject matter. Okay, North Node goes retrograde because it goes counterclockwise. So instead of going clockwise, which is direct, it goes counterclockwise. Okay, so it goes backwards instead of moving clockwise. All right, so that's what it means when it's in retrograde. You can check out Astro Theme, which is very good. So you can check that out to see where your North Node is in your chart and how it's going to affect you, and how the North Node transiting for 1 year is going to affect you as well. I'm doing these as a little like bookmark or index, so then I don't have to, when the North Node does come up next year, I don't have to say, you guys can look it up. All right, so the North Node in the 8th house here depends what sign it's in. It takes on a different information. Like right now, North Node is transiting Aries. You're very tenacious at this time period. Okay, you are like a go-getter, with North Node. So it takes on that personality. Alrighty, if North Node in the 8th house was in Pisces, it would take on a different personality as well. Okay, so North Node in the 8th house, so denotes long life. Okay, so you could live 100 years or more, alrighty, and have a happy and natural ending. It also brings good luck with inheritance. Now, the South Node part signifies bad luck with money matters, even bankruptcy or homelessness, God forbid, because we're dealing with 8th house, which also deals with homes as well, and so does the 9th house. Ventures will be undermined by circumstances beyond your control. Be aware of losses brought by certain women in your life, so you could have karma with certain women in your life as well with this energy. In the past, so that means that, if you could get a divorce during this time period, and then you had karma with that woman that you were with, and the alimony and all that, so she could take a lot of money from you. So that's what that means. Or you have lessons with mother, and mother could be stealing from you and stuff like that. Okay, so in the past you were in a habit of getting rather than giving. You were the receiver. Possessiveness and a strong desire to own anything you see, coupled with determination to satiate all your desires, are soul memories from former lifetimes and perhaps childhood. You may be slow to respond to anything that restricts your sexual and animal forces, and often feel as though the things you really need are always just beyond your reach. Resist the temptation to indulge in such thinking, for you are here to learn self-control and self-discipline. And a lot of you here can feel that energy because in 2023 the North Node is in Aries, which is an awesome time to quit bad habits, work on yourself, and delve more into like holistic healings. A lot of health issues could come up that will force you to be more disciplined and practice self-control. For a lot of you, you could decide to stop drinking or stop doing weed, because this is in the sign of, because this is dealing with Virgo rising with this energy. So you're very disciplined during this time period. So we could see like also the flip side to this, we could see a lot of eating disorders happening here with this energy. So be careful with that. Learn to tame yourself. But some of you could like really restrict yourself because you have other planets that will suggest that. Resolve to acquire only useful possessions and do not lust after anything more than what you need. Let go of old beliefs at this time. Your value system is going to be changing during this time period. And so, what you have learned as a child will change when you're older. Curb your sexual desires, though they are strong. Reserve some energy for the future for your own regeneration. It is especially important not to exhaust yourself on yourself in the exercise of physical union. The pattern you must watch out for is soaring flight. Soaring high followed by a crash and burn. Okay, so you can have you can have like a very topsy-turvy, like kind of like lifestyle, or you could live a topsy-turvy life with this energy here. So you could find, even if it's not done by your own hands, you still like can live like in a topsy-turvy kind of life. Okay, you can become so consumed with greed, lust, or possessiveness that you'll hate yourself and fit of anger and spite destroy all those around you, destroy all your relationships for power, for fame, for success. Some of you could have this transiting, and some of you can be, this could be a transit that is revisiting your chart. Okay, only to gather incredible amount of energy you'll find to start all over again. So you never reach this area, and then guess what? 8th house Pluto energy, break it down, build it back up. Okay, so to prevent this negative circle of behavior or cycle to which you're prone to, it is important to burn your bridges. You may have to struggle through that at this time, and it's because you have a lot of lessons with people, and that means that you don't go back to those relationships at all. So you have to leave certain cycles alone, and you don't go back to those cycles. For example, you don't go back to the ex, you just keep it moving forward. Okay, and you may have a lot of struggle with emotionally letting go of situations and things from your past, and you allow them to still dictate your life. Okay, so that's why you end up in this cycle. You can also continue to move forward by blocking the exits. Okay, God will hear the faintest cries for help as soon as he sincerely promises you not to look back. So your whole purpose is to go through these things, because it can psychologically mess you up, or it could psychologically transform you. It's kind of like, if it's meant to be yours, it will be yours kind of situation. So for a lot of you, you could find yourself going through these cycles. You could find yourself going through these cycles with your relationships and attracting the same people into your life. So you may have lessons with the same people, but in different phases, and you have to learn to let it go and walk away. This is because of your difficult past. You may have a hang up about power and even do foolish things with money to try to get power, such as gamble or spend lavishly, or keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing. If you do not build a good character, you may dream of marrying into money, solving your problems through an inheritance or lottery or win, or even find yourself trouble with the law. Other weaknesses with the North Node in the 8th house include throwing your money and energy away, or on undeserving people or causes, or just throwing your money into bad. This could be like a situation here where you have a child that is like a drug user, but you're an enabler, so you may have a lot of lessons with that. Or certain people that you put on pedestals, you just throw money at them with this energy here, and you just, instead of get money in return, you don't. Okay, what you do have that others do not is great determination. While this can be detrimental to your growth, it may also help you in times of great adversity if you use it wisely. Okay, this could also be, you will experience great happiness in life when you strike a proper balance between your needs and the needs of society. You may find the universe supports you in seeking status, as this will allow you to be an individual who contributes to those around you and is respected. You may become a business tycoon or otherwise very influential, like an influencer. You will also be lucky in the metaphysics, the occult, and spiritual pursuits as well. Okay, so it's a very difficult energy. I have this in my chart. I have North Node in my 7th house, but in like when it was transiting my eighth house, I found myself having to create boundaries with other people during that time period, and like walking away and burning bridges. But there are some aspects like Saturn that does the same thing too. Okay, the North Node in the ninth house here is God's house, okay? But also, this is about the friendships, okay? And how you make friends very easily. But the lesson is to be discerning with the friendships as well, and to like kind of like pick and choose your battles with the friends. You could find that you have like a lot of like friends, but then your circle during periods of time when it's not well aspect diminishes, and you get into a lot of fights with people during this time period, and then you make a lot of new friends, and then to get a lot of fights with them. Be careful with, you have to be discerning with the friendships. There's good luck in traveling, politics, and publishing here with North Node in the ninth house. North Node in the ninth house is like presidents, can have North Node in the ninth house, and they will do well. So this could also bring disagreements as well with neighbors and siblings, homeowners associations with this energy here. Also, this could be a move happening for some. It can also be, it can also mean like you need to be careful with creating a bad reputation for yourself because of the gossip at this time, or talking bad about other people, slandering other people's reputation. If you have an intuition to gamble, you will probably be lucky in that. Pay serious attention to your recreational pursuits. Be generous and engage in charities. You will develop great wisdom in this lifetime, and you may even achieve a position of power after your 41st birthday, okay? Or things will get better for you in life, and you will have more stability after the age of 41 with those of you with North Node in the ninth house, okay? In this lifetime, you have like a lot of lessons with the relatives. They could be difficult. You have strong psychic connections with your siblings, but you may lose one in early life. You feel deeply connected to brother and sister, and may end up caring for one or more of them in this lifetime as well, okay? You may have, you can be very introspective, okay, or you may have a quiet sibling. If your North Node in ninth house is badly afflicted, this could be dealing with a lot of lessons with your personal responsibilities, like law, like your licenses, because you can, there's a bunch of licenses you can get, like your car. So you may have like a lot of lessons with the popo, okay? And you may have difficulties with the popo as well, alrighty? For some of you, this could be even dealing with like religious fanatics. You can be a religious fanatic here with this energy as well. So you need to be careful with that. Or you may be a fanatical in your way of thinking. It depends what sign it is. And you could find yourself getting into fights with others. For others of you, you could be very spiritually inclined, okay, and very devoted to your religion as well, all right? You prefer to study on your own, and you may have trouble completing any formal education, and this is because you are taking care of other people in your life. So this could be like mother and dad want you to watch your siblings, or sibling could have like disabilities, and you could find that when you get older, your parents want you to focus on taking care of the sibling so they can go and work and stuff like that. So you could find that your college education could be cut short. You're always seeking more knowledge, for you find the world deeply fascinating and something that you want to experience through the intellect. And also the education, going back to the formal education, you're supposed to be like important or hold stability after the age of 41, and this could be the reason why here, because you allow parents or other people in your life to have a lot more influence over you, and you do what they tell you, the relatives, and you do what they tell you to do, and that's why you have resentment towards them after all, because they stopped you from growing. Okay, so you need to learn how to say no, and you need to let them figure themselves out. So it's up to you when you want this, you see? So things like that can happen to us. You are often too influenced by your own environment, so you're very much influenced by family, and they may take the neck and tell the head whatever it is they want it to do, and you'll do it. Okay, so you need to be careful with that, because again, you could be rich and whatever at 41 later in life, or you could do it, so it's up to you, because they inhibit you from growing. That's the problem. Neighbors are ongoing problem for the North Node in the ninth house. You may have to travel from your you may have to travel far from your birthplace to find peace you seek. You must detach from your environment enough to observe the world and derive an opinion about it. You need clear sense before you make the sound judgment required of you in this lifetime. Continue to seek the truth, and you will find that faith and courage along the way. Perhaps you will find yourself perpetually involved in petty dramas. Okay? Do not hesitate to jump into you do not hesitate to jump into relationships which become quickly complicated, a lot of drama. Okay, and you'll find like friendships are kind of like a revolving door. Alrighty. Yet you will continue to reach out to others, going where angels fear to tread, listening and offering up advice. You often lament your lack of education, which you secretly think you would help you navigate the life that you live. In fact, your mental capacity is not the problem. It's the sheer number of relationships that you create, and no one can keep straight of them. It's your relationships that cause you the problems. So again, you need to be discerning with your relationships. All right. You need to surround yourself with people that will help you grow, not inhibit your growth. And then you need to be like, you create your boundaries with other people in your life. Okay, you will find that your life will be the one that's in perpetual crisis, mostly due to your inability to make decisions. You can rely on your intuition to guide you, but memories of past life experiences trap you into gathering too much information. You overthink, overanalyze before you make up your damn mind. Okay, and then you get lost in possibilities. Travel is important to you. It provides an antidote to social network that entangles you in the details that vex your attempts to reach your higher consciousness. In short, it gives perspective. When you pull away from facts, skepticism, and analysis that helped you understand the world in the past, and cut yourself loose from the intricate social fabric of neighbors, acquaintances, colleagues, family that drain your energy, you will find a wonderful world of ideas, achieve your higher consciousness, and make true friends. So again, the lesson here is with the friendships and the people that you choose to be with, and don't get all wrapped up in their drama and the gossip and all that stuff. Now, the North Node in the 10th house, you would think that it deals with like career and stuff and fame and importance. No, it deals with father, and it deals with how you take on the role of father, and when I think of this, I think of Britney Spears' conservatorship thing, and how she kind of in her family took on the role of father, but you see how she's trying to get out of that role of being father to all these people, meaning financially supporting them, making sure that they have everything. And it's not even by her own will. So when I think of North Node in the 10th house, I think of that conservatorship kind of thing, having to be responsible. And also in this lifetime, having karma with family is North Node in the 10th house. So North Node in the 10th house has nothing to do with career, but having your own karma with family and taking on the responsibilities of family, and having to be, even though you're the female of the family, having to be the patriarch of the family. Okay, you may work exceptionally hard to provide and care for them. You should know you will rarely find appreciation for what you bring to the table, which again reminds me so much of Britney Spears. Like, I don't feel like her family really appreciates her and just treats her like a workhorse and be like, go on, work. And now look at her. Now she's like that chihuahua that spins because they taught her how to do the same trick over and over again. And now she just like, you may work exceptionally hard to provide provide and take care of them. You should know you will rarely find the appreciation. You were especially sensitive to your mother, which she was, in early surroundings as a child, okay? And you, however, you will identify with father as you grow older, as an adult carrier, as a caretaker. You may have one child who demands your energy and attention but who won't return it. Your spouse is likely to be an absent parent, emotionally or literally. Your family needs never seem to dissipate. You may feel forever bogged down by your responsibilities to them and your obligations to them. This may include the responsibilities to the family of man as well, since you tend to adopt new acquaintances. You will probably turn everyone with whom you interact into a family member. This leaves you spending a great deal of energy on them. This energy is for trying to balance your need to do things for yourself with your need to do things for others. You attract and create these experiences to develop maturity. Maturity means understanding the emotional needs of others. Once you get this lesson that comes with the North Node in the 10th house, worldly success will come more easily. Later in life, you will relish in the opportunity to provide stability and shelter for those who are in need. Until then, however, you must guard against resenting those who are dependent on you. Resist the urge to let family issues keep you from developing your full potential. To speed your spiritual growth, be disciplined, have a positive outlook, go out of your way to expand your circle beyond blood relations. Even if you're financially independent, you must work this path to achieve the authority you so greatly desire. As you make your way in the world, be wary of any unconscious tendencies towards classism, nepotism, favoritism. Also be aware of how your family values have shaped your ideas about career. North Node in the 10th house, you are deeply and psychically connected to your family. This gives you the energy to go out into the cold, cruel world. Your task is to forge your own path. It may help you to think deeply about the difference between status and vocation. While you can dream that success and power will come to you in a certain way, what you have really incarnated to do in this lifetime is to find something valuable to do for the group. When you make a substantial contribution to society, you will earn the authority you seek. More than anyone else, this placement, it feels like a sense of destiny. It could be particularly difficult for women to channel this energy because you're taking on the role of man. 10th house is the emperor, it's father, it's the dominating men in your life, it's husband. So you're taking on the role of man and then having to do female energy at the same time, which is daunting and exhausting, and you feel like a single mom. Okay, so this is because the individual's also self-esteem comes from work and achievement of goals, not domestic activities. If so this is like you quietly trying to break the glass ceiling in your career as a woman. You spent plenty of lifetimes in seclusion, meditating and pondering your soul's development. This will be a balanced and current incarnation with lots of social activity. Though you are shy and natural introvert, you will find your greatest happiness climbing the ladder of success. It may take the first 40 years of your life to find that delicate balance between family and ambition that will allow you to focus on your career. Once you figure that out, the world is your oyster, as the proud carrier of the North Node in the 10th house. So you can have it, but you just have like all these lessons with family and trying to find that balance. Now, North Node in the 11th house here, this is a kind of like fun energy here, I think. This is a popular energy. This is all about being about group causes, joining groups, being part of the group, being married to your job with this energy here. For some of you, you benefit through the women in your life during the North Node in the 11th house, usually mother or wife you benefit through. Now, the south node in the 5th house is somewhat unhappy here. You could find yourself going through, like during this transit, a cycle of like losing friends, okay, during this cycle. So it may not, important friendships will leave you at this time, so it may not be the easiest sign. This is also hang-ups with gambling or other types of speculations are not unusual. Sadly, with this energy here, unhealthy children or other kinds of trouble with offsprings are also common here. In the past, you were attached, you were too attached. You retain your soul memory of great romance and have an unconscious tendency to be always searching for the next affair. With this energy, you are incarnated at this time to experience detached love. You will find happiness turning lovers into friends. Avoid the temptation of following every romantic opportunity, for this will distract you from your true path as creating a life purpose. You have a great need to be loved and seek to satiate the thirst with sex and romance. North node in the 11th house, love affairs only weaken you, while friendships make you stronger. It is important to learn not to be willful. Your ego only get in the way of achieving happiness. Meditate on dissolving it. It is important to pay attention to your dreams, both sleeping and daydreams. They can bring you divine guidance and deeper self-understanding. You have spent many lifetimes as a creator, enjoying all that you bring into existence. However, such experience all will only leave you feeling empty in this incarnation. Enjoy life as it happens to you, or actually through you, and resist the temptation to bring things about through your own energies. Don't force situations. Don't force relationships to happen. Don't go crazy because things are not happening in your life. Just go with the flow. If you were meant to have it, it will be there. Okay? While your lifetime of giving love and your childlike naivete may mean you have a natural affinity and a talent for dealing with children, you can have in this lifetime experiencing something different. Okay, so I see a lot of teachers with North Node in the 11th house. All right, you have close relationships with your children, and you may find them to be unappreciative of your attention. They could also be, God forbid, sickly or otherwise troublesome, or that you're unable to conceive children, and so you're focusing on other people's children as well. Okay, you will probably have visions of universal brotherhood or the future to share, or maybe you have an insight into the connectivity of life based on scientific reason, like, for example, Darwinism. Okay, that kind of thing, Charles Darwin. All right, set your mind to your work on becoming more scientific in your approach and placing group needs ahead of your own. You must be available to others but not emotionally involved with them. See the people in your life not as minor actors in the drama of your story, but as major figures in their own right. It is only through this kind of equality that you'll find freedom. The North Node in the 11th house means you'll find true happiness by improving the life of others. You achieve this through friendships and associations, a clear life purpose, a strong sense of ethics, and a commitment to freedom and equality. Then North Node in the 12th house, this is dealing with the subconscious mind. This is also a little bit of karma here, and depends what sign it is. Normally you will have karma with those people, okay? And especially if you have stellums like Capricorns, like my 1993s through 1996 babies have a bit of a stellium in Capricorn. So if you have Capricorn in your 12th house with North Node, you may have problems with mother. You may have problems with other Capricorns with this energy here as well. So North Node in the 12th house, the subconscious, deals with compassion and unconditional love for the human race. We expect to find them to be doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, mystics, artists, with this energy, and be healers of that channel on a deeper energy. Okay, the 6th house talks about health problems in the South Node. Okay, so you could be a hypochondriac, you could have mysterious ailments that nobody's ever heard of, all right, that kind of thing. And periodically you will have And especially if you have Saturn transiting, or if it's not well aspected, or if you have a stellium in the 6th house with your south node, occasionally or periodically you will go through bouts of sickness to the point where you can't move, and that's it. Okay, if you do not have health problems, I bet you have some issues with your work environment. Then you may feel confined by your workspace. If it's not work environment that bothers you, perhaps you feel unappreciated or just underpaid. You may have an exaggerated sense of self and feel that most of what you are asked to do on this job is beneath you. Yet you'll find yourself doing your work and resenting over and over again, while anger builds up inside you until you make yourself literally sick. All right, and you need to be careful with that with certain signs like Scorpio. They do that. They can make themselves literally sick. North Node in the 12th house placement means you're a perfectionist in past lives, analyzing, criticizing the world around you. Perhaps you unconsciously fall back into this pattern, secretly judging others and as less perfect. Resist the urge to lose yourself in petty thoughts. You must learn to differentiate between the important and insignificant. Until you do, the nervous energy you perpetuated by focusing on minute will eat you away at your physical and mental health. You have a soul memory of being able to control the outer world, and now you're here to experience the entire universe within you. This will require periods of solitude in which you contemplate the microcosms of your soul. With this energy, okay, embrace the decisions to journey from the material world to the spiritual. You'll find greater happiness than you ever have known. Your physical health is dependent upon your mental well-being, which requires you to let go of your need to control the details of the world around you. When you begin to put your faith in your inner resources, rather than trying to manipulate the outer world and impress people, you will find the self-confidence you have been lacking. Faith is the key placement. North Node in the 12th house, your life journey of self-discovery. Your task is to know and love the real you and to appreciate your place in the cosmos. You are destined for spiritual greatness. You must lead a life that inspires others to create harmony and honor the brotherhood of man. Live from your heart and not your mind. Okay, so I hope this helped to help you rise above and to think about how can you rise above your astrology, because you can rise above these transits, and this is what's going to happen, and it brings about great transformation when you do. Okay, show your love and support. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share, and thank you for everyone who has. Kisses.